Hey guys, what's up? Today in the Book Lab we are going to be leaving the stress and the chaos of the real world behind as we take a trip to this quiet, peaceful Ninjago temple. Or so it appears at first glance. So if this build looks familiar at all, well, I mean, it should. Up until recently, this was the Temple of Resurrection set from 2018. But, you know, I'm an adult LEGO builder, and as such, I am not allowed to leave any play features intact on any set that I own. Otherwise, legally, I'm not allowed to own the set. No, I'm kidding. I actually left all the play features in here. In fact, the only ones that I took away were those two secret opening rock doors in the front of the set, but we'll go into that in a little bit. So basically, yeah, I mean, my two main problems with that Temple of Resurrection set were that it was too high, which made it really hard to display and just looked really off for some reason, and that it also really didn't have much space up top for the minifigures. You had like the little railing section here, but it really didn't give you much room. So as you can see, I kind of expanded that front section a little bit to expand it out. There's a lot more room for whatever gadgets you want. And of course, you'll notice that I also did remove the Oni masks. I'm not a huge fan of them. Personally, I feel that they're ugly. I mean, they serve their use in the show, but I really don't want them on any set I'm displaying. I actually replaced them with Wu's helmet from the sets from next summer, his dragon armor, and also and I also replaced the other Oni masks with just these simple flame designs here, which I think do actually work with the decoration in the background behind them. And before you ask, yes, we still have the rotating displays here, so that you can whip them around, and so Hutchins and the other Royal Guard can grab their weapons. Granted, they probably won't have much time to use them, if you know what I'm saying. Of course, as you can see, we also have the lanterns outside here. I moved the other lanterns, which were down at the bottom, up here, just because I thought it made more sense to have them inside the temple, and plus I kind of, took away the little platform that they were on anyway. And of course, as you can see, I left the trees intact because they were pretty cool, and also I added in a nice little waterfall down here, which turned out actually better than I was expecting, and in my humble opinion, the ground actually looks pretty good. And I'll let you in on a little secret here. These two plants are actually hiding some bad building of mine. In fact, if you lift them up, you can see there's actually this ugly angular gap left here, and I could have fixed it with maybe a couple more plates, but just throw a plant leaf on top or two, and boom, there you go. It covers that nice gap up neatly, which you should probably keep in mind for builds of your own. You don't have to use a ton of pieces to get a cool effect and hide your laziness. But anyway, probably not the lesson I should be teaching you. And as you can see, we also left the trapdoor function intact, so you could drop your minifigures to their doom, although I guess at this point it really wouldn't be their doom, since this temple is now a little more than minifigure height, which, I'm kind of kicking myself because some steps leading up to the temple probably would have made some sense, and I probably could have had some nice wraparound steps going up like the Temple of Air-Jitsu has, but I guess it's not the hugest deal breaker. And if you don't remember, the main function of the Temple of Resurrection was the collapsing roof, which fell down to reveal Garmadon returning to Ninjago, which I left intact on my build. You can pull that lever on the back, but instead I actually put Wu's golden dragon suit up here, just to kind of go with the helmet downstairs. In fact, when this was the actual Temple of Resurrection, I actually tucked all of Wu's golden armor from that summer into the basement of the set, but there really isn't the room for it anymore, so just his golden suit is left. And I really would like to get rid of the flames, maybe at some point, build up the wall a little bit, or build up the roof here a little bit, just because it does look a little messy with all these gaps in it. And maybe I could replace the flames with like a weapon rack or something along those lines. But let's go to the main portion of the build, the basement. So in case you don't remember, the Temple of Resurrection was actually a super important base for the Sons of Garmadon. In fact, that was what they used to bring Garmadon back into Ninjago. So I thought it would be good to, keep that same function intact, otherwise this temple would kind of be pretty pointless. And so you can see here we have the Sons of Garmadon with their leader, Snake Jaguar. That was a joke. Please don't yell at me in the comments. We have the Sons of Garmadon here, including Mr. E, Snake Jaguar, and just a random henchman. I pretty much threw them here for decoration. And you can see we also left the Sons of Garmadon's top secret plans intact. We have that weird illustration with Garmadon looming over Ninjago, and then hidden behind a spiderweb, their actual secret plans for using the masks to bring back Garmadon. And then also, which is kind of a dark twist, I put in some containers of blast sap down here, which the Sons of Garmadon used to, destroy the royal palace and deprive Hutchins of a good career. Anyway, and you can see also in the shadows back here, we have a skeleton. And I'm really disappointed that my lighting isn't better here, because I really love the detail that I packed in. Just basically a sad, gloomy cave that no one in their right mind would ever want to go in. But so yeah, anyway, there's the underneath, and you'll also be happy to note that we also were able to include most of the other weapons as well. Here, of course, are the flags, which I probably should have turned the design around because you can really only see them from the back anyway. But yeah, here's the container that has the actual blast sap element that was included in the set with a sort of kendo helmet on top. The only problem with it being here is that you actually can't engage this trapdoor without moving it first, so I guess that's a slight con. But, oh, another thing, if we open that up, you can see where the trapdoor drops down, basically where the skeleton is right here. So, yeah, I guess he was some poor sap that ran into the Sons of Garmadon ages ago and met his unfortunate end. Poor guy. And then on this side, we had the rest of the weapons that were included in the basement of the temple. Of course, obviously they wouldn't fit in anymore, but I think they look okay tucked over here to the side. So yeah, we have that crate of weapons, and then also a few more weapons tacked onto the side. So overall, their base is not compromised in any way, shape, or form. And so here we are back at the start. Basically, in case you couldn't tell, I'm actually really happy with the way this turned out. It looks a lot more like a display piece, but it also has a ton of functions. For those of you who, I guess, look at a set more in terms of play value. The beautiful thing is that I was actually able to use most of the parts from the Sons of Garmadon Temple set. In fact, the only parts that don't actually come from the set are most of the ones that I used to make the base plate here, and some of the parts here, which is kind of unfortunate. As far as building tutorials go, I really don't think I'm going to do one for this set. If you want one, I could probably make a separate video, detailing how to make this base plate here, and then basically from there I just built up the ground using slopes, and then chucked the temple on top of the slope. So it was nothing horribly difficult, but I guess maybe not for a beginner builder. But anyway, yeah, so there we go. There's our brief look at the Temple of Resurrection. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, the whole reason for this was because I kind of was procrastinating and don't actually have the pen. I kind of still don't have the Griefbringer Dragon build done, so yeah, sorry about that, guys. Alright, that is it for a brief look at this peaceful little temple, or I guess sort of peaceful. It won't be peaceful once the Sons of Garmadon activate their blast sap, I can tell you that much. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know it's a little bit different from my normal videos, and there won't be a build tutorial for this one, sadly. I felt like it was good to kind of take a little break, refresh a little bit, and we'll be back to all the regularly scheduled content, including some Season 14 customs, coming up pretty soon. Anyway, that's it for today. You guys already know what to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all the other good stuff, and I will see you guys next time.